Hi, this video is about the differences between academic and business writing. Now, I'm not going to read all of this to you. I just want to touch on some of it and especially look down at the table. Um, business business writing, technical and business writing differ significantly from academic writing. First of all, academic writing is an exploration of a topic, a forming of your opinion of a topic. However, business writing, there's purpose. There's a purpose to it, and the purposes can be very different depending on what document you're writing. It also addresses different audiences, and sometimes it arises in response to a different set of problems. So when you're writing in business, like take for example, let's do something simple that pretty much every business has: an accident report. The purpose of an accident report is to report an accident, but not just, hey, I fell down the stairs, but it should answer who, what, where, when, why, and how. And for those of you who took my English 1301 class, this is going to sound very familiar to you. But the audiences could be everybody from stakeholders, like people who like stockholders, stakeholders. It could be managers, employees, customers, regulatory agencies, lawyers, because remember that business and technical and business writing is part of the legal documentation of a business, or any kind of 501c organization, a volunteer organization, and they all need that. So let's look at this table. This gets very specific. So business writers are either going to write at their own initiative or because someone in the organization expects them to write. And sometimes you create and define your own task, and sometimes you're told the task. Business writers write to make things happen. Business writers often write for large and complex groups of people, including various stakeholders who have different needs and interests. And then let's look at the genre. So business writers write memos, letters, proposals, reports, performance evaluations, business plans, marketing plans, audit reports, sales presentations, manuals, handbooks, contracts, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. So when it comes to ownership, business writers write for the company. The company owns the documents and can often include proprietary or confidential information. Even just simple emails can be, important. That's why you shouldn't use your personal email for your work email. Business writers, you need to meet more urgent deadlines. They're usually dictated by your employers and the needs of your companies. Many times you're going to be writing on the job, and that goes with, distractions and constraints. Distractions in the workplace, and then constraints on what you can and cannot say. The process is a little different too. Business writers are going to solicit feedback from others before you publish your document, and often work together to compose documents. That's why you're reading the chapter in the book about working as a team. So not only are you going to get information from other people, but you're going to be working with other people to actually write a document, even if it's just a coworker or a supervisor looking at it to make sure everything is how it's supposed to look. So structure-wise, business writers often use a table of contents, an executive summary, company descriptions, industry analyses, strategic analyses, and recommendations. And they structure their writing according to what their audiences need to know to do, or what to change. And this is called modular writing. Modular, M-O-D-U-L-A-R. And what it means is, like, for example, one person in one position is going to just read the executive summary of your document. A different person is going to read the industry analyses, and a third different person is going to possibly read the recommendations. Not everyone is going to read your entire document. And so there is a lot of repetition in the longer documents. We will see that in our short report and in our long report assignments. The other difference between business writers and freshman comp writers is you're only going to include what your audiences need to know. You're not going to put any fluff. They're very unfluffy, and they either omit the rest or they include it in an appendix. And so you need to know, you need to have an idea, is this necessary or not? And there's some questions, like for example, there's some self-examination questions we'll get into when we get into the short report and long reports. Now, design. This is what makes technical writing technical writing. Business writers design their documents to be visually attractive and to allow their readers at least two ways of reading documents. One, quickly by scanning, or more slowly for details. So they read it quickly by scan, or they read it in depth. So you're going to use white space and that's so blank lines. You're going to use it carefully in business documents. You don't want there to be too much white space between two things that go together, or your audience isn't going to realize they go together. There'll be some confusion, and that's really what you're trying to do, is make sure that somebody other than yourself also understands this document. You're also going to use headings, subheadings, you're going to use bullet points, and you're going to incorporate graphs, visual information like graphs, charts, logos, and pictures. Now, style, and this is the nice thing I think about business writing, is you're typically going to write shorter, simpler sentences and include much less paragraph development if you use paragraphs at all. I had a technical writing professor tell me, if you can bullet it, introduce it with a sentence, bullet point it, and then end it with a sum up sentence. And we'll talk more about that as we get into our other assignments. Now, documentation style. Documentation style, it's going to be according to who you work for. If the company you work for requires, I think it's EEOC style, then that's what you're going to use. We'll talk about this a little bit more. There is a chapter in the book we're going to read about some of the different ones. Also, paraphrasing or quoting outside sources may be formatted differently according to what company you're at. And again, that's in the chapter we're going to read. And then tone. Your tone, you establish a tone that best represents the ethos their company wants to project and fits the expectations of their audience. And this is definitely changing. So right now, my favorite tickety talks are about how Gen Z does its business emails. If you're interested, you can go on the YouTubes or the Tickety Talks or maybe the Instahams. I know I'm saying them all wrong because I'm a woman of a certain age. So Gen Z signs off their intercompany business emails with things like, I'm dying here, you're the greatest, no, I'm kidding. Just hilarious. If next time I come across them, I'll save a few of the links to send them to you. And this is after these people, of course, have been working together for probably a couple of years, because Gen Z is just not that old yet. They entered college in 2018, so they became 18 in 2018, and and they work together with their teams, and they know each other. So it's not just right off the bat that they do that. It's, there's a little bit of break-in period there, but it's a completely different writing from what someone of, say, my generation. And yes, I'm a boomer. I'm one of the last 2 years of the boomer gen. I'll be 60 now. I'll be 60 in a couple of months. All right, but it's different. Okay, now product and destination. For business professionals, you seldom produce a final product. Instead, these documents, you may write it and you may have to present it in an oral presentation or formal and informal meetings, overheads, reports, all kinds of different things. But then you might write the report and someone else may turn it into one of these types of presentations. Sometimes someone may take one of your sections out of your document and incorporate it into one of their documents. It's called boilerplating. And then these, it says here, business documents are often stored on electronic databases to produce a corporate memory. I'm going to go with they're always saved on an electronic database to produce a corporate memory. So, yeah. All right. That is all for this video. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction to the differences between your English 1301 academic scholarly writing and business writing in this. And okay, if you have any questions, email me, and have a good day.